So I'd like us now to turn to our blank transcription again. And we'll just save it as a new document. And instead of calling it Literary Fun Speech Blank, we'll just call it TEI instead. And then we'll go down to the bottom right, and instead of text, we'll select XML so we can see the different colors. You'll notice now that we've done that the and signs become reddened. That is because they are problematic in XML, and we'll deal with that on another occasion. Let's start though by encompassing our text in the text tag. And so we'll open it at the top and close it at the bottom. Now let's mark out each page break with the PB short tag. And so after our munificent patron, we shall put in PB / and then close the bracket. And where's the next? After excellent, the same. Again after country. And after genius. After once. After institution. And last but not least, after it is. Now let's mark out the paragraphs. I'll do a little of this. And so, the first paragraph sits here. The next there. There's a new paragraph here, which doesn't end until after the next page break. Likewise here, the paragraph doesn't end until the end of the next page. I have two paragraphs on this page. It's useful sometimes just to check that the brackets are closing where you think they are. I've forgotten to close this one, and so now I can see that that connects back to there. And so let's just finish this off. last paragraph, or second to last, which runs across the page again. We close with the toast, President. And let's just check again that all of these do what we expect them to do. That looks promising. And now we'll just add out one more layout tag, which is the line break tag. Which looks like that. And there are going to be a lot of these, so we'll copy it using Control-C if you are using a Windows machine, or Command-C if you are using a Mac, and then Control or Command-V to paste it at the end of each line. It's worth noting that it's not necessary to put them at the end of a paragraph. You'll see here that I've forgotten to put a full stop at the end of the paragraph too. So only put them at the end of the line where there's not a paragraph break. You'll see now, or begin to see more clearly now, why it's useful to have these different colours and have this differentiation between again, not at the end of the paragraph, between the text itself and the markup we're applying to it. Again, not at the end of the paragraph. You'll notice that when I'm coming to the end of the line and finding a space, I'm deleting it. This isn't strictly necessary, but is sometimes good practice in coding. We're reaching the end now. And that's it. Those then are the layout tags that I think it's useful to apply to this. I'd now like to apply just one more tag, which is a semantic tag to denote that we're seeing the name of a person. And so we're going to, around the Queen, which for me is on line 12, open a name tag, and then we're going to close a name tag on the other side of the Queen. Obviously, a name doesn't necessarily have to be that of a person, and so it's useful to say that the type of name is the name given to a person. As you can see, the document's starting to look a little bit more complicated now in terms of the layout, as things get nested automatically by the software. It's not necessarily a helpful thing for a human, particularly following a text. However, I think the ability to see how these are nested is useful beyond the difficulty that causes. And there's one other person that's named, which is the Marquis of Lansdowne. And again, we'll set up a name tag and close it on the other side. And again, we'll give it the type person. You'll notice that when I put in quotation marks, the person, the closing quotation mark appears as well, so you don't need to type that in yourself, or to move the cursor, you can just type it in. And there you have it. That's your first approximately complete text section of a TEI document. We'll talk about some of the other elements of TEI documents in later workshops. And also we'll deal with issues like the and sign. But I hope for now that's been clear and enjoyable, and that you feel that you've achieved something with that.